Look at it. Look at Look at that goodness. Look at that goodness. Happy Friday, everybody. You know, I didn't upload last week, but I was on vacation. I had filmed some stuff for that. I didn't really like it, but we're gonna refilm that stuff though. Yeah, but we're here today because I'm about to get back in my baking bag. The last thing I baked, which I was just in my mind, I was like, I can't remember the last thing I baked. But the last thing I actually baked was those cinnamon rolls that I posted on here. It was like my first video back. That was like a year ago, I think. Yeah, that was like a year ago. But today we're going to bake cookies. So at my job, my coworker had bought some oatmeal, what was in there? Oatmeal cranberry cookies with like a white chocolate drizzle on them. Well, when I tell you them cookies were so good, like I literally scarfed down like 3. Like she dropped them off and she's like, okay, I'm about to head to my office. She dropped them off and I literally scarfed down 3 right after she put them down. They was just that good. And I messaged her on Teams. I was like, you put your foot in them cookies. And she inspired me, honestly. Hey, Michelle. I work with 3 Michelles. If you want Michelle that brought cookies, then you know I'm not talking about you. But she bought the cookie. I mean, I emailed her know they were so amazing, but she inspired me because I was just like, I've been wanting to get back into baking for so long because baking was something that that was completely self-taught for me. Like, I don't come from a family of bakers or anything. So me teaching myself how to bake, me teaching myself how to decorate cakes, me teaching myself how to bake breads and cookies and just so many different things. I made bagels before. I made so many different things. So me teaching myself how to do that. The sourdough, we're not even going to revisit that. We're not even going to that. But I taught myself how to bake so many different things. Just self-taught. And it's kind of just falling by the wayside. I went back and last year I bought another cake decorating kit. I haven't touched it yet just because it's a little antsy. Like I'm a little antsy when it comes to it. But God was like, we need to do this. So, and I'm so happy that Michelle brought those cookies again. It inspired me. So, and I think cookies might have been the first thing I taught myself how to bake as well, I think. Because I was used to just buying them at the frozen section. But we're going to do, so my cookie today is going to be oatmeal coconut chocolate chunk walnut. That's a mouthful. I like a full cookie. Like I like a cookie that's full. So again, it's gonna be an oatmeal coconut chocolate walnut cookie. Yeah, that's gonna be the one today, and I'm so excited for it. So I have my bowl here. I already have my ingredients, like I have my sugar and everything already set to go. So let's get the bacon. Let's go get these whipped up and put it on because I have some cooking to do as well because I got meal prep. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so in this bowl, isn't this bowl so cute? Missing cash or something like that. So in this bowl, I already have my butter, my vanilla, brown sugar, and then also white sugar. I found this recipe online. I will tag the creator because he or she is here on YouTube, and I kind of just tweaked it to my own liking. Hers was just coconut and oatmeal, but again, I'm doing oatmeal, coconut, chocolate chunk, walnut cookies. So yeah, so this is everything. This is pretty much all my liquid ingredients or my wet ingredients, and I'm just gonna whisk them together and incorporate some air into them. I did brown my butter as well, so this has been sitting for a minute. I forgot about when it comes to baking, it's a lot of prep work. So I did all my prep work before, so this could just go quickly as possible, or smooth as possible actually. Not quickly, smooth as possible. I'm going to whisk this a little bit more, incorporate some more air into it, and then we'll be right back. Okay, and as you can see, the more I've whisked this, the lighter it has become. I'm just going to straight down the sides of my bowl to make sure that everything is incorporated. Make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom. The worst thing is getting like a chunk of sugar as you're eating the cookie. That's like what is the worst thing, I'm not going to lie. Okay, now I'm going to add in my eggs. I'm doing 2 eggs and I'm doing one at a time. 1 second. Okay, we got egg number 1 going in. Oop. Babe, I need that. We're losing a little bit. That's okay. Now we're going to get this whisk together as well. And babe, when it comes to this whisk, you gotta put your back into it. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not even-handed when it comes to whisk, so I have to use my left hand. You can use your stand mixer or a hand mixer as well. I just didn't want to dirty up that stuff. So I was like, what's the point? As you can see, this is getting really fluffy. This is what we want. We're going to add in the second egg. Okay. Second egg going in. That up, put it in here. Originally, the creator that I saw make these, she did not brown her butter or melt it. Hers was just, she just let it get into a paste. But I wanted to brown mine. I just want these to have maximum flavor, you know? And brown butter just imparts maximum flavor. Oh, look at that. That look good already. Okay, I'm going to scrape the bottom, then I'll be right back. Okay. Just scraping up the bottom, making sure that everything is incorporated. I'm going to stick with this spatula for the rest of this because you want to fold in the flour. You don't want to whisk it in because you don't really want to incorporate too much air into it. I think at this point I kind of want to go ahead and add my what's the name, but I think I'm going to alternate. So in this bowl here I have roughly 2 cups of flour, a pinch of, actually I put my salt in here, so my salt is already all in here as well. So I have roughly 2 cups of flour, a pinch of salt, not a pinch of salt, I'm sorry, roughly 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of baking powder as well. And I'm going to alternate. I'm going to do it in 2 different what's the name. I'm going to go ahead and fold that in. I want these to be chewy as possible, so I don't want to work the flour in too much. Well, not working in, but I don't want to overwork it. So when I can't see no more of that, I'll go in and add the rest. And it called for 2 cups. Again, I said roughly because I kind of just going off vibes. Now you don't really want to do that with any other baked good, like no cake or nothing like that. But for this cookies, you can kind of go off vibes. I didn't want too much flour, so it's probably like a cup and 3/4. Hold on 1 second. Okay, my ring light died, y'all. My bad. I had to go and get the charger for that. I don't really know how it died. I haven't used it. You know, I literally used it once, and it was fully charged. But I digress. Just folding this in. And make sure you work that flour in. Okay, I'm gonna get through working this in, then I'll be right back. Okay, we got all that worked in. I still see like a peak of flour, but it'll get worked in more as we add the rest of the ingredients. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my oats. I have 2 cups of oats, like a handful of nuts that I just chopped up, and then a cup of a cup of coconut. Breaking up my batter, child. Mix that in. And actually, before I mix all this in, let me go ahead and pull the chocolate out. Hold on 1 second. For chocolate, I picked up 3 different ones. I picked up bittersweet, semi-sweet, and then dark chocolate. I think I'm going to go with the semi-sweet because I didn't mention that I did reduce the sugar in this. So the sugar called for 1 cup of, it called for 1 cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar. I reduced the sugar down to 1/4 of sugar, 1/4 white sugar, and then like 3/4 cup of brown sugar. So I think I'm going to go with the semi-sweet just to balance it out, because I feel like these two might be a little too bitter. So I'm going to go with the semi-sweet. I'm going to chop this up. Okay, I'm just chopping this up. And I always prefer chocolate chunks over chocolate chips. Chocolate chips have a coating on them that don't allow them to like fully melt. And I like that ooey gooey situation when it comes to cookies. When chocolate is involved in them. So I always opt to just chop the chocolate myself. Okay. And then you can make it as big as small as you want. I'm just gonna go back through and do a little bit smaller on some pieces. We're gonna get this added to the bowl. Yeah, semi-sweet was the way to go. Semi-sweet was the way to go. Still a little bitter. Still not overpowering. I feel like the dark chocolate would have been too just like strong, in my opinion. And definitely the bittersweet would have been way too strong, like way too strong. So semi-sweet was the way to go. Okay. I'm gonna get these mixed around, and then we'll be right back. Well, I can just mix it. Luckily, it's just a tad bit warm in here, so this dough hasn't seized up on me yet. But with this type of cookie, you want to make sure everything is fully worked in. You don't want to see anything left in the bottom. Like nothing left in the bottom. And then I am going to go ahead and pre-roll these out once I'm done. Because normally I let cookies sit for like a day, like the dough sit for a day. But these I'm only going to let it sit for like 2 hours. Or however long it takes to cook my my food. Clean the spatula off. And although this does have eggs in it, you can take a little taste. You can do a little taste. Oh man, those look so good already. And has everything I love. Coconut, oats, nuts, like chocolate. It's like everything I love in a cookie. Just all wrapped up in one. Okay, I'm gonna get cleaned up. That's the dough though. The dough is complete. I'm gonna get cleaned up. I'm gonna let this sit in the fridge for a millisecond while I wipe everything down, and then we'll come back and roll them. Okay, so we're about to start rolling them out. I'm just putting on some gloves here. And I'm gonna go ahead and roll out the entire batter. I'm not gonna cook the entire batter, or dough, but I'm gonna go ahead and roll them out. I do not have a scoop, so I'm gonna use this spoon, and then I also have my scale here. So hopefully I can get them around the same size. So this part here, I'm just more than likely just gonna speed over while I crank them out. So let's get started. I'm going to take about that much for each one and put it on the scale. That's about 46 grams. Yeah, that's at 46 grams. So I'm gonna try to keep it around that same mark each time. have like maybe like 5 or 6 more, in my opinion. I was doing it by the 46, but trying to get that perfect every time is gonna give me a headache. So I'm doing it where anywhere between 46 and 50, I'll keep it. Like, I'll let it fly. If it's over that, then I take off. But if it's between 46 and 50 grams, we're good. Okay, that one's 48. Stay. I'm trying to work fast too because it's warm in this kitchen and I don't want this dough to start breaking down. Perfect. So yeah, I probably got like another row of good enough. And then we'll be done. It's a big one. 59. So cut that chunk off, it should be perfect. Yep. I've had this scale for a while too. It's crazy how everything come back full circle for you to use it. Because I've had quite a bit of baking stuff for a while. I've had this. I've had my mixer since I moved in, and I have only used it once, to my knowledge. Yeah, I think I've only used it once. I got about 2 more cookies left, and then we will be done. We can pop them in the fridge. I don't know how much. I'm gonna weigh this whole thing. That way I know if I have 2 cookies left or 1. Yeah, I got 2 left. I'm gonna try to get it, both of these the same size. That one's 45. Look at that. You got them during the same size. 45 and 47. I mean 45 and yeah, 45, 47. I'm just taking them in my hand and rolling them. Alright, so that made 4, 8, 12, 16, 23 cookies. Just one shy of having 24. But okay, so I'm going to cover these and then pop them in the fridge and let them sit for about 4 hours minimum. I really like to let cookies sit for a while. But yeah, I'm gonna let them sit for about 4 hours minimum. And then when we come back, we will bake them. See y'all in a second. Alright y'all, these bad boys have had all day essentially to sit. So we are about to bake up some. Now, we're about to bake a few up now. So I'm gonna prep another pan and we'll be right back. Okay, so I have my other pan here. I'm only gonna do about 6 of them. Like, I'm not gonna do a lot. Yeah, I'm only gonna do 6. So I'm gonna pop them on. That's why I didn't put a whole sheet of what's the name on these, because it don't need it. And then we'll take this one as well. Make sure the spacing on these is okay. Okay, so I'm gonna pop these in the oven and then we'll be right back. I have my oven on 300. I like to bake my cookies on a very low temp. So I have it on about 300 here and I'm gonna let them bake for about 12 minutes. So we'll be back. And for the rest of these, I'm just gonna pop them in a Ziploc bag, like lined up, and then put them in the fridge, in the freezer. Okay, so I have these in. I'm just gonna push all the air out and then pop them right in the freezer. Into the freezer they go. Okay, these bad boys are out of the oven, and I love the way they kept their shape. I am gonna do just a little shake on them. Just a little one. I'm going to let these cool. I did kind of whack them around a little bit. I'm gonna let these cool, and then we'll be back. Okay, so let's crack on these open. This one is calling my name, so just the one we're gonna go with. Look at it. Look at. Look at that goodness. Look at that goodness. Okay, I'm going in for the first bite. That's a slam dunk. I'm not even gonna hold you. That's a slam dunk. It's so chewy. It hits all the notes. The coconut is a beautiful added in. Like, oh, so good. So freaking good. I love the shape that they kept. I'm glad that they didn't spread too much. Because I like a cookie that keeps its shape. I like a cookie that keeps its shape. And then like the nuts, the walnuts, the going with the semi-sweet chocolate. Perfection. Perfection. So cool and so good. I will raise this and say now I'm not a big fan of dry fruit, but I could see a dry cranberry in this. I can see a dry cranberry in this too. We back. We never went nowhere, but you know. Yeah, have a blessed one. Again, amazing cookies. Be good, y'all. Be blessed.